Hanson. Present on behalf of the Prosecuting Attorney's Office is Medina County Prosecutor Forrest Thompson. We are here today for a sentencing hearing and mitigation hearing prior to sentencing. On behalf of the state of Ohio, are you ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
On behalf of the defense, are you ready to proceed?
Your Honor, we are. I would ask if the handcuffs could be removed from my client during a portion of this hearing.
That would be up to the Sheriff's Department to determine whether they think that's a safe thing to do. I defer to them on safety issues.
I can remove one so you can take it out.
Okay. Okay, on behalf of the state of Ohio?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the record indicates that the state has already filed a motion related to the defense's position on merger. We are prepared to make a recommendation in this matter. There were 9 counts in the indictment, all of which were entered as a no contest plea. Those being 4 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 1 count of aggravated aggravated burglary, 1 count of kidnapping, and 1 count of gross abuse of a corpse. Under our evaluation of merger, and I'm using the numbers that are associated with the respective charges as outlined in the change of plea form. The first count of aggravated murder being one of prior calculation and design. Our recommendation to the court is that the maximum penalty of life without parole be rendered. Charges 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe, would merge as either similar crimes or crimes of similar import. As to charge 7, aggravated burglary, I believe the case law is clear that that case does not merge, but rather stands alone. Sentencing parameters on aggravated burglary would be a sentence of not less than 3 years, no more than 11 years. We would ask that be run consecutive to any other sentence. Charge 8, which is kidnapping, I believe does not merge. We would then ask for, and the maximum penalty parameters on that charge are no less than 3, no more than 11 years. We would ask for the maximum penalty of 11 years to be run consecutive to any other charges or to any other sentences given. The last being gross abuse of a corpse, does not merge, stands alone. Maximum penalty in that is no less than 6, no more than 12 months. We would ask that charge to be sentenced to the maximum penalty of 12 months to be run consecutive with any other charge.
As it relates to the allied offenses of civil import and the merger issue, on what count does the state elect to have the sentence imposed?
Charge 1.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
On behalf of the state of Ohio, will you be calling any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we would call Dr. Jones.
Okay. Do you know where Dr. Jones is?
require?
Certainly.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Lynn Luna Jones, Lunajones.
Thank you. And what is your training education?
With regard to my education, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Michigan in 1995, a bachelor's degree in education from the University of Michigan Flint in 1997, a master's degree in counseling psychology from Oakland University in 2000, a doctoral degree in counseling psychology from Temple University in 2004. I became a licensed psychologist in the state of Ohio in 2005, and I became a board-certified forensic psychologist in 2012.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Can you explain a bit more about what it means to be a board-certified forensic psychologist?
Okay. To become board-certified, one has to be licensed for at least 5 years. They have to pass a written examination. They have to submit writing samples, and they have to be approved. They have to pass an oral examination. And the progress is rigorous in that I check our neighboring states, and there's only one or a handful in each of our neighboring states.
Do you have any idea?
More.
Thank you. Do you have any idea how many forensic psychologists, board-certified forensic psychologists, are in the state of Ohio today?
Ohio has more. We have 18 in Ohio.
All right, thank you. And that's the entire state.
Yes.
Now, Dr. Jones, in your capacity, where are you currently employed?
I am.
And where are you so employed?
I am employed at the psychodiagnostic clinic.
And how long have you been there?
I have been there since 2010.
And what are your principal duties there?
I'm the chief psychologist.
And within the scope of your duties, are you called upon by courts to evaluate individuals in circumstances such as what we are doing here today?
Yes, I am.
Could you tell us with what frequency that occurs for you?
For the 5 counties that we serve, I perform almost 150 evaluations a year, which accounts for about half of the court-ordered forensic evaluations in those 5 counties.
Thank you. Now, I want to direct your attention to this matter. Did you have occasion to meet with one Gavon Ramsay?
I did.
Can you explain the details of when and how you met with Mr. Ramsay?
Yes. I met with Mr. Ramsay in the Medina County Jail on November 13th. And on that date, I conducted a clinical interview and administered psychological testing.
And that was at the request of this court, was it not?
It was a court-ordered evaluation, yes.
Thank you. Now, how much time did you spend with Mr. Ramsay?
141 minutes for the clinical interview and another 39 minutes for psychological testing.
So if my math is correct, and I'm not saying that it is, that's like 2.5 hours, something like a little more than that?
I think it's close to 3.
With the 39 minutes, that would be about 3 hours, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I wasn't too far off. Now, did you administer what would maybe be referred to as empirical testing or common testing in your industry, in your profession?
Yes, the psychological test I administered is quite common.
And what was that test?
The Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory Adolescent Version Restructured Form.
All right. Can I just call it the MMPI?
MMPIA. Yes.
Okay, MMPIA. Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about that test and what its purposes are?
The main purpose is to assess for different personality traits, different psychological difficulties that the person may have.
And you administered that to Mr. Ramsay?
I did.
Did you administer that test within the standard protocol of your profession?
I did.
All right. Had you administered that test before?
Yes.
How many times? Could you guess? I'm sorry?
I couldn't count. I'm not sure.
All right. It's standard in the industry.
It is.
And it's recognized in the industry as a, can I call it a litmus test, if you will, on the personality?
I don't know that I would refer to it in such a way.
Well, how would you refer to it?
It's probably the most commonly given test for this purpose.
And it's for the purposes of diagnosis of personality traits?
And different psychological difficulties,
And
yes.
Thank you. Now, did you have occasion to fully evaluate Mr. Ramsay?
I did.
Can you describe for me his general condition, attitude, presence of mind at the time of this presentation or this evaluation?
Yes, Mr. Ramsay was cooperative, he was calm, his thought process was logical, he didn't display any mood disturbance. Basically, a very normal presentation.
Thank you. Now, as part of this testing and evaluation, did you delve into Mr. Ramsay's background and history?
Yes.
Did you talk to him about his family history,
Yes.
his social history?
Yes.
Now, in conjunction with this testing, were you also provided documents, various items of evidence that were used in trial preparation?
Yes.
Do you recall what some of those items were?
I reviewed all of the information provided to me by the prosecutor's office. I also reviewed records from school. I reviewed records from his pediatrician and his treating psychologist.
Now, there came a point in time, and I'm going to refer now to Mr. Ramsay's, what was it, treating psychologist, you said?
Yes.
Who was that?
Dr. LaSure.
There came a point in time when Dr. LaSure made a recommendation or a referral of Mr. Ramsay. Do you recall that?
If we're referring to the one to his pediatrician, yes.
Do you recall why her records indicated that she made that referral?
Yes.
And what were those?
She mentioned to his pediatrician that he was displaying some psychological difficulties and she was worried that he might hurt someone.
Because he had ideated that he wanted to hurt somebody. He had thought about that.
She stated he had, quote, intrusive thoughts of violence, end quote.
And that was in, to the best of your knowledge, when was that done?
January 30th of 2018.
Now, did you review Mr. Ramsay's medical records?
I did.
Prior to January the 30th of 2018, was Mr. Ramsay taking Zoloft?
Not to my knowledge.
Now, in conjunction with his social history, did Mr. Ramsay share with you any information about, for lack of a better term, let's call it self-medicating?
I don't use the term self-medicating.
Well, what term would you use?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Was Mr. Ramsay using other substances than prescribed medications to deal with the issues that he was discussing?
I'm not sure of the reason he was using substances, but I'm aware that he was using substances.
Okay. And what were those substances?
Mr. Ramsay told me he had a history of using alcohol, marijuana, Concerta medication, LSD, inhalants. I think that's everything.
Did he indicate to you the volume of alcohol that he was consuming? And I want to limit us, for the purposes of today's hearing, I want to limit us to that period towards the end of 2017 and January of 2018.
He informed me that during that period he drank alcohol daily, about a fifth of vodka, or whatever he did that.
In fact, he said it was a fifth a day or whatever he could get a hold of, didn't he? Didn't he say that?
He said, or whatever I could get.
And he said he stole it from CVS Pharmacy, and he stole it from his parents. He indicated that that's how he was obtaining the alcohol on a daily basis.
I'm not sure what store, but he told me it was from stores.
Now, Can you tell us about the results of the MMPI A test that you administered?
Yes, the results of that test indicated that he answered in a manner that was valid. There was no indication of exaggeration of symptoms or minimization. Based on that, he endorsed many somatic complaints, meaning health issues, head pain, neurological symptoms, things like that. He also endorsed emotional distress. He also endorsed externalizing or acting out behaviors and conduct problems. And then he also endorsed being rather shy interpersonally, in a nutshell.
In your preparation